What could be more romantic than planning a getaway? Yeah, a great romantic getaway. Maybe going on that romantic getaway? Hmm. Or is it the realization that romance is amazing and that life is so short? We know this amazing couple. They're adventurous and they found a way to celebrate their relationship every 5 years without fail with something really big, something that always needed a passport. On their 10th, they found themselves in Hawaii, the best trip they had ever taken up to that point. Their 20th anniversary was going to be even more extra special. They both remember saying as they celebrated their 15th on a beach somewhere in the Caribbean. So, what happened as this 20th anniversary approached? It seemed as though the months grew closer to their actual lunar anniversary way back some 9 months ago. The planning was being put off. Things were getting in the way. Now, the soonest they could be going would be 5 months after their actual anniversary. Welcome to Dream Builders Diaries, building dreams one story at a time. And here at Dream Builders Diaries, we dive deep into the personal stories of entrepreneurs and artists and innovators and everyday visionaries just like you. We believe that every dream starts with a story worth telling. And by sharing these stories, we aim to empower you to create your own dream and the story behind it. So before we get started, grab a pen, paper, because you see, dreams come and go very quickly. So do ideas. So don't let yours get away. Oh, yeah, a great romantic getaway. Nothing is better than a great romantic getaway. Celebrating someone with someone you love, celebrating 20 years of living intentionally with a bucket list and a let's do this attitude to make it all happen. There always seemed to be something to interrupt the planning for this anniversary for this couple. Were they going to blame their two awesome children for taking something away from them that should have been planned well before the month of their anniversary just suddenly appeared on the calendar? No, they couldn't do that. You see, there were proms to plan for, and dress shopping, and tux measurements, and flowers. Oh, yes, the flowers. Oh, and the cotillion. Yeah, the cotillion. Then there was the graduation prep and the graduation parties and the graduation trips, not to mention all that college vegetation, those critical evaluations, the choices, returning to move into the dorms. Nothing in all of that said, let's be spontaneous. Let's go do this. Let's go spend our anniversary somewhere. Well, wonderful. Would they end up saying that 2025 didn't deserve their best planning? No, not this couple. As the hustle and bustle of sending their young off to college slowed for just a few quick moments, they began to identify what was the most important about their getaway. It would have to meet most of the criteria they desired for all of their past adventures. So, must be romantic, must be relaxing, and somewhere they didn't have to drive a single day. But it had to require a passport for entry, and it would have to be warm. That's it, warm. And some way to do with, water, like boats or pools. Yet it had to be peaceful, calm, and private, with their very favorite Mediterranean food this time. It must include history and culture, and most of all, romance. This trip must have built-in time for connections with one another. What a perfect escape it would be. They decided they would go to the Greek Isles for their 20th anniversary. Now, after traveling together so long, they had realized that the first day after any travel day should be a day of relaxation. That doesn't mean that you don't do anything. It's just nothing that's specifically scheduled. As they met with their travel consultant, there were many questions she asked. How many islands? How many days? They decided they could both sneak away for about a week, 8 days total. The consultant suggested visiting 3 spots in the Greek Isles. 2 days, 2 nights in each one that are perfect for celebrating special time together. The first island they would visit would be Mykonos. After landing in Athens, Greece from the Washington, D.C. area, far, far away from the medical halls and the busy days of owning and working their own businesses, Mykonos was a sun-kissed Greek island where whitewashed villages spill into the sapphire seas, and the golden sunsets paint the sky with effortless romance. By day, enhances and enchants you with hidden coves and gentle breezes, and by night it glows with candlelight dinners and moonlight walks and the timeless sense of allure. Close together, taking in the history, what could be better? With domed buildings and tiny cobblestone walkways where the smells of great food invite you to a tiny cafe, or dinner by the sea. Table for two, please. One dessert with two forks. Romance was already in the air. The second island was Crete. Crete is very unique in that many Christians know this place from biblical times, when Paul the Apostle went to visit there. They were amazed to walk the streets where thousands of years had passed, and others had done the same. The authenticity of the city grew them to the ancient olive oil factory. Giggling together, they learned the differences of how olive oil is either cold pressed or not, and why it is so precious and necessary to the survival of the region. They held hands as they observed the villagers as they gathered the herbs and spices for their daily sustenance. From high up in the mountains, low in the valleys, they could see the beauty of the cisterns as the women drew water from them, as they had done in the time of Paul. Wow. And for decades since, actually, the obvious transition in culture was evident in the dress of the native people to a more conventional American type of clothing, but the wearing of a full beard still meant that a man was in mourning for a direct family member, a parent or a child. So personal, yet so private. But how romantic is it to take the ferry to the beautiful island of Santorini? On the Isle of Santorini, romance drifts through the whitewashed streets. This is Santorini right here, yes. As the sun melts into the Aegean Ocean, it paints the sky in a blush and gold that you will never forget. Every breeze carries with it the promise of forever, where love feels as timeless as the cliffs overlooking the endless blue. In each other's arms, where love feels as timeless as they would remember, they would reminisce about the life that they had created and shared, their two amazing children, all the laughter and all the cheers, how they were grateful for the opportunity to share this time and this place, holding hands together. The giant blue domes of the city call from the bows and the stern. The sunsets are magical. All the colors of oranges and bright yellows in the sky framing the blues. The island of Santorini, you see, used to be bigger, but about 2,500 plus or minus years ago, the island split. Yeah, the portion of the island that happened to have the volcano on it is still an active volcano. There they drew closer and listened to the guide as he encouraged them to place their hands in just the right place because it feels as warm as a pizza oven. The heat of the oven, wow, is something you'll never forget. The warmth of their smiles, gazing into each other's eyes, is something that the others on the tour will not forget. That warmth was a stark reminder the next day when they boarded a totally different ferry for a tour of the hot springs. Now, hot springs is a relative term when 60 degrees is considered warm. They decided to stay and snuggle on the boat instead of risking the loss of the heat between them in a 60-degree spring with a swimsuit on. But Santorini did not disappoint. It is a wonderful way to celebrate a honeymoon, a birthday, an anniversary. The backdrop for beautifully amazing photos was not wasted. Her smile is radiant, and his mischievous grin evokes her contagious laughter. There are flying dresses and so much more. It's easy to see why this Greek isle is so popular, so picturesque, and so famous. Soon they would be back home, back to the quiet home of their making, where they launched their young only a few short weeks before. Bringing the romance they had experienced with them home would be even more special. They had decided it was all in making dreams come true and starting to plan for number 25. Wow. Long, long ago, you see, about 23 plus years ago, they met. She's from a wonderfully large family with Caribbean roots, and he's from the tundra of Canada. We happen to think that there are cool, kind of older parent types we are and to them, but it's all the same. They are just as wonderful as our children are. And we enjoyed that. They're our family too. So it's quite the match of opposites for these two, you see. The Caribbean and Canada, the Aegean Sea and the olive oil factory, sea level and the height of the mountains, the heat of the volcano steam and the relative heat of the water in the hot spring. But isn't that what we want to make of our relationships? The differences to fill in the gaps? Because opposites attract? The reason we dream and celebrate those dreams together? So why this diary? Because this diary demonstrates the magic behind how our dreams fulfill our greatness. The world would not be the same without your dreams and the dreams of others. And celebrating with others are the reasons we attempt new things. I also share this diary because this powerful diary celebrates the virtues of pride and patience and planning and determination to see a dream fulfilled. And only you can fulfill the dreams that you create. So, was waiting for the dream trip 20 years in the making and realizing that life is short worth it all? Yes. It has to do with living intentionally, realizing your bucket list. This couple's let's do attitude made it all happen. This couple said yes. So, what is your biggest takeaway from our diary today? And how does this diary relate to your dream? Dreamers, believe in yourselves, be passionate and work smart, know your why, and apply what you learn each day. And as you ponder the source of your dream in this diary, I wish you well. I wish you an abundance of resources and knowledge and wisdom with your time and your future success with your dream. Enjoy life and always, always be kind. I want to leave you with a quotation. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. It's by Mark Twain. I'm going to read it again. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness by Mark Twain. Special, special thanks to O and to P for sharing your story. We love you. Special thanks to those of you who listen to Dream Builders Diaries regularly, too. I'm grateful to you. Honor to spend time with you is all mine. So if you don't have it yet, get your 90-day Dream Builders Diary. Subscribe for more stories. There's more stories coming. Yes, there are. And please like and share with others. So thank you. And until next time, building dreams one story at a time.